The Georgia Gymdogs are undefeated and ranked #1 in the country. But that's not enough. They want the NCAA championship trophy. We'll have a preview next.
And the Dogs' deed is done. What can I say? They were the best. They really stood out. They put it all together when it counts, and that's what the sport's all about. What a routine.
And that just may do it for Georgia here tonight.
Wow.
The Gymdogs Show is brought to you by Melwood Springs. Melwood Springs from the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Georgia.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Yoculan. Welcome to the Gymdogs Show. Our team is headed into the national championships in Corvallis, Oregon. Jay, we're the #1 seed. We're feeling great right now, coming off an undefeated season. And looking back at our record over the past, 23 years, this is not the first time that we're going into nationals as the #1 seed and undefeated.
Right, no, it's not. This will actually be the 6th time that we go into the national championships as an undefeated, untied, ranked #1 team. And in those 5 previous appearances, we've won 3 of them and finished 2nd in 1992 and 3rd in 1994. So we do have a couple of blemishes on our record, but we'd much rather be in this position than be in another right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We like going in #1. Everyone's shooting for us. The target's huge on our back, but it's been that way all season. Almost the majority of the season, we've been not only ranked #1 in the country, but #1 on every single event. And we came out of the regional meet with the highest posted score on every single event. So we're feeling pretty good right now.
Right. You can't, and the thing is, we felt like, as crazy as it sounds, we could have improved. We left some tents out there on the floor. We did what we needed to do at the regional championships in terms of the way we trained. We took enough time off after SECs and did just enough to have them sharp enough to win that meet. But we've got to be better than what we were at the regional championships in order to win this 7th national title.
That's right, 7th. It's hard to keep count with last year being our 6th national title. We don't talk about back-to-back because it's a new team, it's a new year, and we're just sort of, our plan is to focus on day-to-day and not get too far ahead of ourselves. And the first thing we have to do is we have to qualify to the Super 6. So even though we're headed to the national championships, there's a first day of preliminary competition with 12 teams competing in 2 sessions. We're in the evening session. How's our competition look?
Well, we're going up against Oregon State, the host team. They did get in by upsetting Stanford in the West Regional, so I'm sure they'll have a lot of crowd support there for them. They've drawn great crowds over the years. We also have Arkansas, the surprise team from the SEC, and then we also have a familiar foe in Florida from our conference, Arizona State, who we have not seen yet, but who has been posting some large scores as of late and actually won their regional meet, and then Iowa State, who's been ranked in the top 5 almost all year.
And Arizona State is the one that, they're the #2 seed going into the national championships, and we're not really sure how good they are. Their scores have certainly been great, so we're expecting some tough competition on Thursday night, but we're ready for that.
Yeah, absolutely, and not knowing what's going to happen once you get to the Super 6, the good thing is that we've been prepared all season in the different environments that we've been in to finish on beam, to start on beam, and different various things, and we've trained that way all year long, so we feel like we've done what we need to do in order to be prepared for any type of rotation. But back to Arizona State, I think that they are kind of the unknown X factor. At Pac-10s, they scored a 193 something, and then just 2 weeks before that had scored a high 197. So now, then they go to their regional meet and scored almost a 197 again. So they're a little bit unpredictable. I think they've had some injuries earlier in the season, so they may just be hitting their stride as of right now.
You're right, Jay. Arizona State is definitely the X factor, and they've got Ashley Kelly, who was the national champion on beam last year, and she scored a perfect 10 this season already, so we know they've got definitely some big guns. Now, for me, I don't know how you feel about this, but we won the SEC championships. We had a week off, got ready for regionals, won that. Now it's just this waiting game. I mean, I feel like we need to compete. We're ready. We're not going to get any better than we are right now. We just need to get out there and go, and so that's what I'm feeling. Today, we're at the gym, and this is our last full INTRASQUAD of practice before going to nationals. So everybody out there will get to take a look and see what our team looks like, getting ready to hit the road. And I don't know, do you feel this waiting game like I do?
Sure. Well, I think there's a little bit of anxiety anytime you're building up towards something like this, and certainly the success of the season has made us even more eager to get it done. It almost becomes, time becomes your enemy, so to speak, because as you stated, we feel like we're not going to get much better than where we are right now, and so we'd rather go ahead and get the show on the road. But, today will be our final preparation, our dry run, our last hurrah, so to speak, as we get ready for the rotation that we do know we have, and we're going to start there on vault once we get there, and we'll do that here today and go through what will be our competition lineup, including our alternates.
Well, as we said, in Corvallis on Thursday night. We will start our competition on vaulting. Katie Heenan will be our leadoff performer. She's done that a couple times this season, and she is one of the gymnasts on our team that sticks almost every time she goes out there and competes. So we feel like we want to start out with somebody that can stick right away.
Great tone setter, good amplitude, good form, just the perfect person to put up first and sort of set the tone for the rest of the team.
And then followed by Katie will be Brittany Smith, and Brittany did sit out of the regional meet because of a sprained ankle, but her history. Right. I mean, how about her history in the big meets? I mean, she's come through big for us a lot.
Absolutely. Two-time All-American, knows how to land the vault, too. She's another one of those kids that has sticky feet on this event, and again, sort of picks it up from where Katie left off.
Third up will be Ashley Coupetz. Ashley's, she's either on with a great vault and a stick, or, she flies forward. So hopefully at the national championship, she'll find her peak performance and find that landing, because if she does, this could be a huge 995 score for us in the third spot, and we could really use that right there.
Absolutely. The blind landing's the only thing for her. Sometimes her power is so big and she gets so much amplitude off the table that she does take those hop forwards, but when she sticks it, you're right, it absolutely can be a 995.
And how about Kelsey Erickson, fourth up in the lineup, 995 or 9925 at the SEC Championships, winning that event. She has just improved so much on this event this year. She was not as strong a vaulter last year, but this year has really come through with big scores at the end of the season.
Really come through, coming into her own on this event. She learned this vault after arriving at Georgia, and so it's taken a while for her to get consistency, but she's really, really coming through as a junior.
And in the fifth spot's Courtney Coupetz, just like her sister. She does that same vault, that Yurchenko half front pike. Courtney sometimes has a little bit problems getting square and getting straight, but when she's straight on that horse, she really booms that vault.
As long as she doesn't rush that turn while she's on the board and doesn't get crooked on it, she can blast that sucker straight up with anybody, and she also knows how to land the vault.
Wow, I mean, I think our vaulting lineup's just sensational. And then, of course, at the end, the exclamation point, Tiffany Tomei. She scored a 9.975 one time this season. It's all about that landing. Unfortunately for everyone in vaulting, the landing's a big part of the score. And so you have got to be right there finding that landing. And when Tiffany does, that scores at least a 9.95.
Oh, absolutely beautiful. Probably one of the it's the most difficult vault being done in the country this year. And quite possibly, if she has a good day on the first day, you're looking at a candidate for the national championship on this event.
Absolutely, and our alternate on vaulting will be Megan Doolan. Megan's had a lot of experience this season. She's gotten to compete quite a bit, as Brittany Smith has been hurt quite a bit, and Megan did compete vaulting at the regional meet just last week, so she's ready to go if needed, and she also does a Yurchenko full.
Does a very nice Yurchenko full, not quite as consistent on the landing as the other two people that are earlier in our lineup, and that's really the difference, and along with the fact that Brittany Smith's our senior and a two-time All-American, so she'll get the nod if all things are equal.
The Gymdogs.
Ask Suzanne, brought to you by McCarr Homes. And this week's question is, how does an individual win a national title? And the answer is, on Thursday in the preliminary competition, 8 girls will advance to the individual finals to be held on Saturday night in Oregon. The winner from Saturday becomes the individual national champion on that event. That's Ask Suzanne, brought to you by McCarr Homes.
Welcome back. Well, we're headed to bars now, and bars has of late become one of our better events late in the season, scoring several 49.4 plus, highlighted by a 49.475 performance at Auburn University. Suzanne, talk about where we are on bars right now.
Well, what I like about bars is that we've gotten better and better and better. We started out not scoring as high, but we're definitely peaking on that event because the girls are finding their landings, especially Nikki Childs. I mean, when she hits that dismount, it is a big score for us, and being second up in the lineup, that's huge because it just sets that momentum, and you know how much I like momentum. I mean, I'm all about building those scores.
Absolutely, yes. We want to build those scores. We've got Kelsey, who was #2 in the nation last year on the uneven bars, and then followed by Courtney Coupetz, the bronze medalist at the Olympic Games on the uneven bars in the last spot. So you can see, if you look, when you start looking at our lineup, you can see how we build, and that's by design for sure.
Right, and I mean, I just love it. I love our bar lineup. I just think that there's so many girls that are capable of the big scores, and we are really a far superior team to most teams out there in terms of our overall depth on this event. As you can see now, the team is getting ready to do bars in the inter-squad today. They take a warm-up turn, 2 warm-up turns, and then they're ready to go, and you can see that everyone's pretty excited today. We've got a lot of energy in the gym, and so far the inter-squad's going well. First up on bars is Ashley Coupetz.
Ashley Coupetz's routine is highlighted by her great handstand work. She has a nice variety of skills. She starts with a giant full, another blind change to a Shushanova, which is a full twisting Tkachev, a very unique skill that you don't see an awful lot of in NCAA gymnastics. She has another D release, and most of our girls, in fact, all of them have a second D release in their routine, so the difficulty is there as well as the hallmark handstand work. We like Ashley's routine for 2 reasons. It's got difficulty, and she hits the handstands for actually 3 reasons, because she can stick a dismount too, even though it's a double tuck. So we start with that double tuck, which you'd like to see a more difficult dismount, but she does do it very, very well and lands it every time.
And you know, everyone says, oh my gosh, the double tuck, it's not hard enough. And it really isn't. I mean, we would prefer, obviously, that all of our gymnasts have a D dismount off the uneven bars, but do you want a D in a step or a stuck double tuck? I mean, we've seen that we're going to score higher if we can stick the dismounts, even with a little lower level skill. So I like the execution. I like the direction you're going. Second up on bars with Nikki, same thing.
Same thing. Nikki Childs, probably the most impeccable form of any gymnast in college gymnastics on this event right now in terms of toe point, her handstands being vertical, the pirouetting work that you'll see on top of the bar with her giant 1.5 before her ginger. A unique combination there in that the ginger is in between the bars, and typically they are outside the bars, outside the high bar. A second D release and a packed alto. She does finish with a giant fold to a double tuck. It's done in combination, so we hope it's not going to get hit too hard, but if she sticks that, she has shown twice this year that she can go 9.9.
And fourth up, or third up, actually third up, Tiffany Tolnay. She had a great routine at the regional meet. Wow, she just knocked it out. She had that little arch over and pulled it back, but other than that, she looks so strong on bars, a lot of confidence here. And
here's where the E dismounts begin for us in our lineup. The 3 through 6 spots, we've got all E dismounts in the same level of difficulty that you saw in the 2 previous routines. Tiffany does 2 D releases and a Jaeger and a bail to handstand. She has good combination work at the end of her bar routine with a giant full to a giant half to the double front dismount. Beautiful form, as you see on every one of her events. She's got great form and good handstand work, and certainly is capable of going 9.9 on any given day on this event.
And then fourth is Katie. Another great routine with the same dismount as Tiffany. Double front, blind landing. They're hard to stick, but Katie sticks a good many of them.
She sure does, and she's another returning All-American in addition to Kelsey from last year. Great form on this event, huge amplitude, one of the biggest Jaegers you'll see in the competition at the national championships. Another D release, as we talked about, all of our girls having a second D release, and then she does do the double front, the E dismount. That it is taking a risk, and we have 3 of those blind landings in our lineup, so we have to work very hard on making sure that we focus on the direction of those dismounts and making sure they come off the bar the same way every time, because it's very difficult to go by feel on that.
That's right, and Kelsey, fifth. As you said earlier, she was second in the nation on uneven bars last year, has put up big scores for us at almost every single meet this year on bars, many times the highest score for us on the uneven bars.
Right, and she's been a rock on this event and really has worked very hard at improving on the little things that she didn't have last year, trying to get those toes pointed when we ask her to and do the things that are minor things that kind of separated her a little bit from Taryn Humphrey last year. But she certainly is in position to repeat in terms of making finals on this event. And then last up, Courtney Kupets. What can you say about her? This routine is packed with a tremendous amount of difficulty, actually 1.2 in difficulty bonus. She has 4 D-level releases or better, 2 of them are E's, and then finishes with an E-level dismount. All of it done in combination. There's really nowhere in the routine to breathe. It's a tough routine to do, and if she hits her handstands like she's capable of doing, she certainly is going to be somebody that's in finals and puts us in a position certainly to advance.
Then you know what else? Have a national champion, hopefully. Someone in this bar lineup could be the national champion this year, and we have not had an individual national champion in many, many years. I think Corey Fritzinger on vaulting was our last one 5 years ago. So, you know, we're hoping with this level gymnast on all the apparatuses that we'll get a national champion this year. The alternate front even bars, Abby Stack.
And on any other team, Abby Stack would be in the starting lineup for virtually every event. She's done a great job, tremendous job of being adaptable coming in this year. We changed some things around with what she was accustomed to doing in the past, working a lot on her body positions and her shape, and she's doing a great job. Packed with difficulty, E-level dismount. Be great if we could get her in sometime.
Wow, what a bar lineup.
Hi, I'm Jenna, and I want to ask Kelsey Erickson what her favorite animal is.
Hi, Jenna. Thanks for the question. I love all animals, which is why I want to be a vet someday. But my favorite animals are my pets back home, my 4 dogs, Reese, Oakley, Molly, and George.
What do you do when you're involved in an auto?
The golden moment, brought to you by Golden Pantry, is in 1993. Georgia competed in Corvallis, Oregon, and won our 3rd national title. That's the golden moment, brought to you by Golden Pantry. Welcome back. Well, in the competition in Corvallis, we will have had a bye rotation prior to the uneven bars. We go vault, and then a break, a bye, and then unevens, and now off to balance beam. And there's no break between bars and beam. We get right over there and get started right away. First up, Kelsey Erickson. She's been in this spot since last year, and she's a great starter.
Very consistent, loves this spot. Great person to have in the first up spot.
That Audrey second. She's another one that's very consistent. This is where we're strong, and on balance beam, you have got to be consistent because there is no margin for error. Audrey does great skills, great difficulty, and as I said, she stays on and she's got great consistency.
Absolutely. Dismount's the key for her. She does a great dismount. She scores.
And third is Nikki Childs. Everyone loves Nikki, love her moonwalk, but you know, I'm interested in whether or not she can hit it and stick it, and she's gotten better and better as the season's gone on, and right now she's got a lot more confidence than she did earlier in the year.
Same form and grace that you love about her on bars you see on the balance beam.
That's right. Tiffany Tolnay fourth. You know, Tiffany's strong in so many places, but I personally think this is one of her best events. Just beautiful amplitude, beautiful height on all of her jumps and leaps. And the biggest thing for her is, can she stick her dismount? You know, she certainly works it enough. We just got to have those stars line up and get a stick out of Tiffany. Tiffany
was coached by Kim Zemesco, and you can certainly see that influence in the skills that she does on that event.
And then fifth is Courtney Coupette's, another one with tons of difficulty. Jay alluded to that fact on uneven bars. Same thing on balance beam, over 1 point in difficulty, and you only need 5/10, but she can hit it. So, you know, when you can do it, you put it in there. She's another one. Got to stick that dismount.
Absolutely. Courtney is an absolute rock star on this event. If she sticks the dismount, look out.
Katie, last up, she's in that position for a reason. She's got the makeup, the internal makeup and mental strength to be in that anchor position. She's been there many times. At regionals, 9.95 on beam. What a great person to be last.
Unbelievable ability to execute when the pressure's on, and she typically does that for us every time.
And then our alternate on balance beams, Ashley Coupette. She's coming into the lineup late in the season because of back problems, but she's ready to go if needed, and she's just beautiful to watch.
What a natural beam worker. Hopefully we don't have to use her, but if we do, we know we've got a good score in her.
That's right. Now we rotate over to the floor exercise. You can see the teams getting ready to go. We always do our little huddle up right before we compete on each event. Go over to floor exercise, and we've got a freshman, Abby Stack, starting us out.
What a dagger it throws out there when you can put a freshman out there first up in the lineup that opens with a pike full in.
I mean, what difficulty, like Jay says, right off the bat, followed by Ashley, who's got the most unbelievable amplitude. Just look at the height on her tumbling.
Incredible. Double pike as high as I've ever seen. You could literally walk under that thing. It's about 8 feet in the air.
And then we come to Tiffany, and she's got both. She's got the amplitude and the difficulty and the explosiveness, and she can dance too. She's just got really everything that it takes to put together a good floor for a good score.
Opening with an Arabian double that's huge and has a classic look in line to all of her dance elements.
In the fourth position is Kelsey Erickson. We know what she can do. She's put up really big scores, especially at the end of the season. Kelsey's really peaking right now. The full twisting double back she does at the beginning is new, but she's very consistent on it. And I love her height of her double back at the end of her floor routine.
That's right. Late in the season, the full end has gotten consistent. Finally, we put it in the middle, and the height of her double tuck at the end is unequaled by anyone else in the country.
And fifth up is Katie Heenan. And Katie, she's just a class act. She's just, you know, she can not only tumble, but she can dance. I love her turn. I love her jump. I love her presentation.
Just great presentation, unique tumbling from the beginning to end, very different than any of the other routines, potential to go 9.95.
And last up on floor, Courtney Coupette, and she's the total package on everything. And on floor exercise, you know, what can we say? I mean, she's got great amplitude, great difficulty, presentation, dance, execution. She's got it all.
Like you said, the total package, and if she puts one together here, I'm telling you, this kid is amazing.
And our alternate for floor exercise is Nikki Childs. She's come on strong right here at the end of the season, was our alternate at regionals, and she looks good, and she's ready to step in if she needs to go.
It's absolutely incredible that you can have these kinds of alternates like a Nikki Childs who can perform the way she does on the floor exercise and has as many variety of skills as she does and performs them the way she does. A great backup. If we had to put her in, we don't lose the thing.
That's right, and Nikki's ready. Routine of the Week, brought to you by Athens Regional Medical Center, and this week's Routine of the Week is Tiffany Tolnay on vaulting, a freshman. Performing, competing, and hopefully sticking one of the most difficult vaults in collegiate gymnastics, the 1.5 twisting Yurchenko. That's Routine of the Week, brought to you by Athens Regional Medical Center.
countdown to the NC2A is brought to you by Melwood Springs. And as you can see, Georgia is going in as the #1 seed to the national championships, followed by Arizona State, Alabama, Florida, and Oklahoma tied for the 4th spot. Arkansas sneaks in as a surprise, and that's countdown to the NC2As brought to you by Melwood Springs.
There you have it, our last practice in the Ramsey Center prior to leaving to Corvallis, Oregon. We're ready for the national championships.
Yeah, it should be an exciting meet, guys. I mean, so many new faces. It's been kind of a shake-up in terms of what teams are there, but we expect every team to be out there at their best, and it should be an exciting meet from top to bottom. We look forward to getting out there and competing against the absolute best and trying to return home with our 7th national title.
And hopefully we will see you next week with, as Jay said, our 7th national championship. If not, we'll be here and very disappointed, but we will see you next week with the results from the NCAAs in Corvallis, Oregon.
Go Dogs.
The Gymdogs Show has been brought to you by